Hello and welcome to another 3shape TRIOS Excitement app tutorial. This is your host, Victor Zarnetsky, Strawman Lab Territory Manager for Los Angeles. Today we'll be looking at the native Smile Design app, which is included in the TRIOS 3 and the TRIOS 4. Note that this is not included with the TRIOS Basic. So here we're looking at Brent Burns. He's a wonderful hockey player, but he's missing a couple teeth in the anterior here. So we're going to do a smile design for him today, and I'll walk you through all the new features in the latest update from Smile Design. To start a smile design, I'll go into that patient. I'll open up a new case. And then in the case setup, I'll select the smile design option down here. When I have that selected in the white here, you'll see up here there's the option in our workflow to go into the photo preparation. We can either import photos at this stage in the comments and attachments, or once we go into the workflow here. We'll then be prompted to select photos. If we click here, this just opens up our file explorer on our computer. We can then select photos to import. I already have this picture of Brent, so let's go ahead and move on. It's also important to note we can import optional photos like a full retracted photo or additional supplemental photos that can help drive this treatment presentation forward. The first screen that we'll see is this screen where we'll adjust the orientation of the photo. We'll parallel the face to our screen. We'll adjust the lip line, the points, and the rotation. By using my scroll wheel on my mouse, I can zoom up and I can adjust the anatomical points that the smile design needs. First, we'll start with the pupils here. And we see as I adjust that, the picture is automatically rotated. Next, I'll select the nasal wings. Try and get those in the same symmetrical location. And then finally, the lip line. You can see I can grab these balls on this line and move them around, or I can grab between the line and individually draw, and you'll see that the smile line is morphed. Once I've made those adjustments, I can come up here and hit Next. In this page, we can design the smile by grabbing the teeth or the clinical handles on the teeth to make individual adjustments. We start out with the largest changes, so we'll start out with the perspective changes of the teeth here. You can see we can adjust the smile perspective. We can also adjust the width here, and you'll see this is making a symmetrical adjustment across the arch. On a tooth-by-tooth basis, we can adjust the length or the width, and you'll see that other teeth nearby are bound to those changes, so they'll also change. We'll see one feature in the latest update is the width to length ratio, which we see present down below each tooth. Over here on the left-hand side, I have a couple options. We'll start at the very top. So we're in the transform mode here. We can see in transform we have the symmetrical design and a link design. If I deselect the symmetrical design, when I make individual tooth adjustments, we don't see the cross-arch tooth making that same change. Similarly, if I deselect the linked, that will stop the linked teeth from changing based on my changes. Down here in the smile library, I have dozens of different smile libraries to choose. I can use my scroll wheel and my mouse to scroll through these to find one that fits this patient. From here I can move on to a freeform adjustment if I want to make manual adjustments to the teeth. Over here I have some different options for the tooth editing radius size and the drawing smoothness. If I adjust these, that'll adjust the radius of change and the smoothness of change. If I come over here to mirror tooth, I can select a tooth and then mirror with the contralateral. And we'll see the arrow points from the tooth that it's going to mirror to the one that will be mirrored. Lastly, this is a really nice feature in the newest update, is this design notes section. So if we have a manual measurement from the patient, we can input that into our system. So I'll say the length of this tooth is 12 millimeters. And then we'll see all of the rest of the teeth will be automatically measured based on that manual input. At this point we can go and add custom measurements as well. Lastly, while we're going through this with the patient, we can select annotations and make any notes. Once I click on the next button here, we'll see we're now on the simulation page. We're going to make some fine-tuning adjustments at this point. We'll see the color is now populated. We can see over here on the left-hand side we have options for a number of different textures. If I scroll through those with my mouse, you'll see them change on the screen here. Once I find a texture that I like, I can come down here to blur or sharpen and adjust that. You'll see the change on the teeth there as well. And then down here I have the option to change the shade, give them that Beverly Hills smile, or more of a natural look, as well as the brightness. If I want to make more fine-tuned adjustments, I can select this option here, which gives us the option to adjust the hue, the chroma, and the value. Lastly, at the bottom here I have the shadow from the lip, which I can adjust to give it a more natural look. Over here we have a couple photo edit options. If I click on the main photo edit, I can come in here. This is if we have blemishes or bright spots on our photo, we can come in and blend and blur. What you can see there, I can minimize that dark spot on the, or that light spot on the nose. The next options that we have are the static copy, which shows us two circles. The blue circle is where we want information copied from, and the green circle is where the information will be copied to. This is ideal for changing gingiva or dark spots in the mouth. This won't adjust the teeth. If I hold down my shift button, I can scroll with my mouse and change the diameter of these circles. And then I can select an area that I'd like to copy from by double clicking, and we'll see that blue circle changes locations. Then I can come in here and paint that new color from the copy to give it a more natural look. We can use this to block out existing teeth for our smile design. Next, I can come over here to the dynamic copy. We'll see what that looks like. We have the same green circles. As I click and drag the new circle, the previous circle changes. So we'll see a blending of colors based on a dynamic copying mode. And then last, we have the symmetric copy. Based off of our midline, this will show us a symmetrical copying tool with those same green circles. Once we've made those adjustments to our photo, we can select the next button up here, and this will show us that patient presentation. Using my mouse, I can scroll on the patient's face, and I can click and grab this bar to show the patient their current and their proposed new smile. We have a couple other options here. I can select the mirror option, which shows us a mirrored view. So this is what the patient would see in the mirror. And then last but not least, we have the option to export photos from here. This is if we want to manually export these to our computer, to email, or to pull up on another computer. We also have the option in the send page to send this directly to the patient. If I click on send to patient and I type in the patient's email here, I have the option to require a PIN, but this is how we can send it to the patient's 3shape Communicate app on their phone. That's available via the App Store or the Play Store for Android. Of course, these photos can also be sent with this case to your lab. They can use this to base their design off of this 2D smile design that you did. That's all I've got for you today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Keep an eye out for new videos in the future.